What's going on, guys? It is Jamie and welcome to the channel Thrift on Fire. Today we're going to be doing an update video on the last video I posted. I have made a few sales from the video game buyouts. The cards, I haven't really went through all the cards yet. I'm slowly listing them. I'm definitely going to make money on the baseball cards too, but I don't think there's any like home runs in there. It's basically turning, my buy cost was around $4 for the baseball cards. And they're all worth like $15, $20, $30, something like that. And it was still a good buy, but we won't go over the details of that too much today. Today we're going to focus on the video games, and I'm going to try to condense it and not show you every single thing, but just give you a good idea of what all that stuff was worth. All right, so let's start off with a couple things that I've sold. I will throw up on the screen a comp. So first of all, one of the Nintendos that I picked up had a blinking red light, so I knew it was damaged. I had all the cables. I was testing the other system that they said worked. It did work. It worked fine. I haven't listed it yet. I want to clean it up a little bit. I'm not going to change the pin set or anything like that, but I will list the other one with two controllers. I think I'll list the gun separately. So two controllers, the system and all the cords will get listed. I'll throw a comp up of what just the full system was worth as well. But the blinking one did sell for how much money? I don't remember exactly. I'll throw it up on the screen. I believe it was $40. The other thing that has sold already from that is Diddy Kong 2. That one sold yesterday on eBay as well. I think I accepted a best offer of $30. I'll throw that up on the screen as well. So already I've made two sales from that video game buyout. Now, what is everything else worth? What do I have? First, let's just start with the video games. Okay, so I have about 22 video games that I think aren't worth listing at all, or at the very least, they need to be lotted up and sold together just to get rid of them. Give me an idea what they are. Sledstorm, this would be a good game, but the disc is ruined. Then we have these very generic DS games. None of them, upside down, none of these are worth listing really. They're like $5 games. Then I have a whole bunch of sports games. This is Far Cry. It's okay, but there's just so many of them. This is a version of Halo. I'll probably keep the Halos to list together with a 360 if I find one. Gears of War, also not worth a ton of money. And I believe this one is scratched up as well. So these are unlisted. And then I have a bunch of Wii games as well that I'll show you real quick. A lot of Sing, Just Dance, Wii Fit. I thought Wii Music might have been worth something. It's not. Bunch of sports games, hockey titles. These ones will get lotted up and sold together. The discs are in good condition. This one can be okay, but it's not going to get sold. Two more hockey games. So I got like 20, 22 games, something like that. They need to be either lotted up or not sold at all. So we'll try to do this in categories. First of all, like I said before, the Donkey Kong 2 for Super Nintendo already sold. I'll throw it up on the screen again, so it is a sold one. And then we also have Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo, Super Nintendo. This one looks like it should be worth, I have a little cheat sheet beside me, should be worth about $25. And then this Sesame Street game, maybe about 10 bucks. You know, not crazy, not really that great, but let's get into PS4 games. So you'll notice a theme here. All these games are basically, there's a few games that are worth 20 bucks, but most of them are worth about $10. And that was sort of the price point that I needed to be at. And when I'm calling it $10, I might be listing them for 12, 11, 9, but we're just gonna call them $10 for the sake of this video. You know, Plants vs. Zombie 2, probably a $10 game. And then we have Horizon here for PS4, also a $10 game. Now that is with letter mail shipping. That is what I plan on doing with those ones. So now the PS2 games that were worth listing. This one was Simpsons Road Rage. This is Greatest Hits. It's worth about 20 bucks. Not too bad. Dave Mirra. What was Dave Mirra worth here? Just trying to look quick. It looks like that's about a $14 game. And then we have NASCAR for about 10 to 12. And then we had Ratchet and Clank. That one's about a $10 game as well. So all these DS games are about $8 to $10 each. So you can kind of take a guess here. Carnival games, I think we have a Pets game here, another Pets game here. I won't throw comps up for all these because the video would just take too long. Believe me, you can look them up yourself. They're about $8 to $10 a piece. There's another Pets. This is cool. This is Barbie Jet Set style with the original box. Pretty nice one right there. Still not worth a ton of money. Then I have a double of that. I have another Barbie game, 10 bucks. Another Barbie game, 10 bucks. These ones are not listed yet, so I might lot some of these up together. There's a Dora game here. Dora Saves the Mermaids. I'm sure it's great. Bolt, really cool Disney game. Another Disney game, Cars 2, and a second copy of Carnival. Now I have a bunch of Wii games as well. This is just a sports game right here. These are all about $10. There's an odd one that's 15 bucks, but basically $10 games. Just Dance 4, Tangled. There's no real home runs here, as you can tell. Clone Wars, We Play, it's not a great game, but I do have 2 of them. Probably that one's like an $8 game. You know, Playground, bowling game. This one surprisingly was worth a little bit more. I think this one was, I'd have to, let me take a quick look here again. Was this the one that was worth, yeah, this one looks like it sells for about 15 bucks. I was surprised on that. Probably 10 bucks on this one and another 8 bucks on this one. All right, so we got some PlayStation 3 games. Now this one here, Jane's Adventure Strike Fighting. I don't really know much about it, but apparently this one sells for about 20 bucks. SmackDown 2009. This one includes ECW. That's also about a $20 game. Now the rest are all about $10, 12 bucks, something like that. So Pirates of the Caribbean, Grand Theft Auto 5. Most of these are complete with manual, which is nice, and the discs are good in the ones that I'm selling. Another copy of Grand Theft Auto. I think that one doesn't have the manual. Dirt Showdown. Trying to go through these pretty quick, guys. And Little Big Planet. And the last PS3 game is Minecraft. This will sell for sure. Not for big money. Like I said, probably about the $10 to $12 mark. Next up, PSP games. Now these are all $8 to $12, but we will just show you and consider them all around 10. They're all ATV games pretty well. This is a motocross game. We have Motor Storm, which is a sleds, I think. MX versus ATV. And then ATV Off-Road Fury. Obviously, someone who's a big fan of the series. But they all, like I said, they do all have manuals. So they're in pretty good condition. Probably, you know, an easy 10 bucks on all of them. Now, to round out the games are Xbox 360 games. And this one's maybe about 13 bucks. But once again, $13 to $8 roughly. So let's just call them all $10 just for the sake of this video. Base Breakers, Jumper. Never even heard of this one. Looks kind of interesting. I might even play it for a bit. LA Noir. Whatever this one is, I don't know too much. Far Cry, this one, the condition of the case in this one is terrible. The manual is in there. I don't know. I still think I should be able to get, what did I comp it at? Far Cry, about maybe $8 on that one. So nothing crazy, but. So now just in games alone, with me being very conservative about prices, when I say $10, a lot of them are a little bit more than that, and there's fees and whatever. But just in basic math, and I'll kind of show you, I've just kind of written down what they're going to be worth, you know, basically on this pad. So to figure it out, I think there's about $570 in just the games alone. And I do have a whole bunch of systems and, you know, some parts only, but let me show you those as well. Now, let me just start by saying the Blinking Light Nintendo already did sell. I did have it like priced pretty low, 40 bucks. Nobody even gave me an offer. They just bought it. So that was cool. That went out pretty fast. I did have a couple items that were no good. This is a gamepad, but a third-party one for the PS4. I don't even get to get out of there, but it rattles. It's definitely garbage. It does not work. And then I have 2 of these, which I thought looked kind of cool. They look kind of like Nintendo controllers, but I think I'm missing some sort of USB dongle that goes in your TV that makes it, you can play like arcade and maybe Nintendo games, but you need the other piece. I don't have it, so that's also garbage. So I have 2 pieces in there that are just trash. So now the NES that I said working with cables and everything like that, I believe I'm going to get about $125 for that. I do think it'll sell really fast as well. I'll try to throw a similar comp up just so you can see, you know, what they're worth. Next on my list was the Blinking Red Light Nintendo, which we already talked about. The orange Nintendo gun, that would be this guy right here, the orange Nintendo gun. So this guy, it looks like it sells all by itself for about 25 bucks. So we'll go ahead and sell that for 25 bucks. I just remembered I didn't even show you the Nintendo. So this is the working Nintendo right here. It does have a sticker on it, so it made it pretty easy for me to remember which one was which. I do have 2 controllers with this one as well, and it does work really well. It does have some yellowing on it, but I just figured I might as well show you that since it was next on the list anyway. I do think I'll get, with the 2 controllers, like I said, about 125 bucks. Now here is a mini Nintendo system. Now I remember buying these a while ago from DHgate actually, and I was selling them locally, so I know I can get about $30 locally for these. At the time I was selling them for about $50. But this one right here is an open box. It's been used. I'm going to package it a little nicer than it is currently. I think I'll get $30 locally for it. I have not tested this yet, but he threw this in at the very end. It didn't make the video, I don't think, but here it is right here, this little Dora game. I'll have to throw fresh batteries in it, see if it works, but this should sell for about $20 on eBay. Not great, but you know, throw in an extra 20 bucks. Now I don't want to take this all out of the box, and as you can hear, there's a loose piece in there, but it's all in here with the game. It's not new, but it is everything complete in box, and I do believe that this DJ Hero still will sell for about $50 for the Wii. It's pretty nice because you don't need anything special. The actual Wii controller itself clips into the system, and that's how it works. It's pretty simple, right? I don't know. I've never actually played this game. I might test it before I sell it just to make sure everything works. But this should sell for $50, so pretty happy with this one. All right, now these are already listed on eBay, and that's why they're in this clear bag. They are 2 NES controllers, and it looks like, what do I have them down as here? 2 NES controllers. They have them listed for around 50 bucks, so, you know, about $25 each. They are in good condition. There's no issues with the cables or all. I didn't actually get to test them, but all the buttons, everything feels good. There's no rattles or anything weird going. I can't see there being too many issues with these, so I've just went ahead and sold them as working. You know, fingers crossed that nothing happens, nothing bad happens here, but for the most part with controllers like this, I haven't had too much bad luck. Now I have 2 PS1 controllers here. The one has a bad cable for sure. Which one is it? This one here. There's some tape on it. It's not very good. This one is in good condition. I've already tested this one and it works absolutely fine. This should sell for about $25, so not too bad. This one here, I will either sell as parts only or maybe just donate it. Not really sure. I'll have to look to see how bad the cable is and what happens when I plug it in. If it works, wouldn't be so bad, but if it already has other issues, I might just get rid of this one. But 25 bucks for the PS1 controller, that's okay. Next up, I have this Gemini. I think it's Coleco. I don't really know a lot about these things, besides that they're old and they're just slightly before my time in gaming. Cool though. No cords or cables, no power cords, so I'm just selling it as parts only. I think I have mine listed for about 50 bucks. It's got a little bit of weight to it, so, you know, I'm gonna charge like the same type of shipping that I would charge on a pair of shoes. I think it'd be very similar in weight. Yeah, so hopefully get 50 bucks for this one. I do see a bunch of sold comps. If it was all complete, it'd be worth a lot more money. Obviously, I can't even test this one, but if I can get $50 out of this thing, I will be happy. So somewhere in the bottom of the bag, I do have the 2 controllers for this as well. I have tested it. It works. It's fine. This is Atari Flashback. I forget the exact model of this one, but it doesn't really matter too much because I'm going to be selling this on Facebook Marketplace for about 30 bucks. I don't really want to sell it on eBay, so on Marketplace for 30 bucks, and I think it'll sell pretty quickly. The last thing here I want to share with you is this parts only GameCube. I don't have a cord for this one, a power cord. I had the AV cable, so I couldn't tell if it worked. They told me that they thought it didn't work, so I'm just gonna go with that. I don't want to spend any more money on this thing, but I do think, and I was selling a whole bunch of these for parts only just a few months ago anyway, and they sold for $50 pretty regularly, so I think I'll get $50 out of this guy. Not too bad. So overall, for all the electronic parts, like the games, parts only, all that kind of stuff, I think I had it averaged out to be about $495. So that brings my total up to about $1,000. I have $1,065, and those numbers all come from the games, all collected. Obviously, I've took away all the stuff that I'm not going to sell, and I've taken into consideration some of the things that might get lotted up together. So I think there's about just over $1,000 worth of stuff here. Pretty decent. The cards, which I mentioned before at the end of that last video, I picked up all those cards. I don't think I'll do so good on those. I think I spent $5 and they're going to turn into like $15 a piece. There's no home runs there either. Same with here, there's a lot more work. So obviously, like, the point of that video was turning my Scotty Cameron disaster into potential more money. There was more money in the Scotty Cameron stuff. It was just, it was going to be a nightmare, and I didn't want any damage done to any of my accounts or anything like that. So selling all this stuff is a lot more work. It'll take me a lot more time, but I do think overall there's still some pretty good value here. It's not going to take me very long at all to get my money back, and the rest of the stuff will trickle out the door slowly. And then by Christmas time, if I still have a lot of these games left that I did decide to list individually, I'll just lot them up and move them out the door. So as soon as I hit to the break-even point, I'll be looking just to move stuff out faster. But if I could sell this stuff for all what I think it's worth, I think there's over $1,000 worth of stuff here total. All right, thanks so much, guys. I just wanted to do this quick update video. I wanted to do it in a way that wasn't going to take up too much of my time, and I don't know that this video is going to reach a broad audience. I just wanted to share it with you so you could kind of see how much profit was in this buy that I made, because I didn't really even talk too much about what things were worth, but I do think I'll do okay on this. Obviously, if I thought it was a bad buy, I would have just steered clear of it, but this should be pretty good. There's a lot of good stuff here. This stuff all will sell. There's just not a whole bunch of high value stuff. It just basically gives me a lot of stuff to list. It gives me options, and I don't mind that. You know, in a reselling business where you have slow pickup weeks, if I can just put up an extra 5 games in a day, that makes me pretty happy. It just keeps my listings moving, so I'm okay with that too. If you guys do like videos like this, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully I have a yard sale video coming up. This is the long weekend of September. That when I'm filming this, it'll be a long weekend of September. So I have this weekend to go yard sailing. The following week, I'm going to be actually on vacation and out of the country. So I'm going to try to get a couple of videos here lined up so they don't have too big of a gap in content. But till next time, guys, take care, stay safe. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.